Forget everything you've thought about Southern MCs on East Coast beats. Lukah's here to shift the paradigm. Let's talk about it. What's going on, y'all? It's your man Lighthouse, and you're now tuned into another episode of Everything Ain't For Everybody, and today we'll be discussing Lukah's A Lost Language Found. Some projects don't just speak to you, they challenge your entire perception of what hip-hop can sound like. A Lost Language Found, the new full-length collaboration between South Memphis wordsmith Lukah and Boston-bred producer Statik Selektah, is truly a statement piece. I was introduced to Lukah by Passport Rav, who was not only featured on the project, but also invited me to the listening session at the Hidden Tiger a few weeks ago. I went in with zero expectations. Y'all know how I am. You know, I don't know what's going on. I just want to hear the music, and then, you know, we'll go from there, right? And I came out surprised. But the minute those boom-bap drums dropped in that dimly lit venue, the energy shifted. I spotted a few familiar faces in the crowd, but all eyes and ears were glued to what was coming out those speakers. Let's be honest, Southern lyricists writing East Coast style production has often been treated like hip-hop heresy. Those imaginary boundaries have started to blur. Lukah picks up the baton with a unique cadence rooted in Southern truth, but sharpened with literary precision. Over Statik Selektah's textured palette, he doesn't just rhyme, he broadcasts truth from his unique Southern perspective. From the acidic wordplay on words drenched in acid to the ghostly boom of South Still Speaking, where Killer Mike joins the sermon. Lukah treats language like sacred geometry. Each verse feels like a coded message from the dirty South. On broadcasting, he flips into film noir narration detailing street tales with stark realism. Mirror Discussions taps into eternal conflict and community trauma, rapping about colorism and youthful isolation over murky bass lines and hard drums. Then comes Native Tongues, where the concept of code switching becomes both motif and meter. His syllables spill in tightly wound alliteration, dancing on Statik's jazz-infected beat. Shredded Speech features a standout from Bun B. His OG presence bridges generational gaps in real time. Lukah returns to narrative form on Talk to Maine and Bruh, a Southern Gothic street tale rendered in full detail. Termanology's guest spot on Strange Slangwistics arguably steals the show, but the production is where Statik really flexes. Echoed vocals, psychedelic flourishes, and a pulse that feels drenched in Memphis humidity. Concrete Idioms brings heat, with Passport Rav delivering an incredible verse, as well as Propane, who offers an electrifying verse as well, while Wineglass Remarks coast on velvet samples and a syrupy verse from Jay Worthy. The trio of closing tracks offers emotional closure. A Love Language leans into smooth nostalgia, while Monologue for My Dogs and My Sermon are tributes to brotherhood and city pride, complete with appearances from 8 Ball and the Stookie Brothers. Then the gospel choir on Power Dialogue turns the album's final moments into something transcendental, a benediction, not just a beat. Lukah and Statik Selektah's A Lost Language Found doesn't just pair an unlikely duo, it bridges regions, generations, and black experiences, all while making the case that hip-hop's linguistic roots still matter. Expectations, they were met and super exceeded. That's my time, y'all. Thanks for watching another episode of Everything For Everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.